Well, you're planning your very first Caribbean cruise, but you're getting bogged down and going through analysis paralysis with all the different Caribbean itineraries that you can choose from. Well, this is the video to help you make that choice. Stay tuned. Hi everyone, Rob from Cruise Seekers, and welcome to our Caribbean itinerary guide. I hope this video will help you make a great decision on your choice for a Caribbean cruise. But before we get into all the information about all the different islands you can visit in the Caribbean, I want to thank everybody who has become a member of this Cruise Seekers community. Thank you so much for doing it. We so appreciate you for being here. But if you haven't become a member just yet and you've been watching us for a while, hey, why don't you think about subscribing and turn that notification bell on? This way you get notified every single time we put out a great video about tips, tricks, cruise deals. You will be notified. Thank you so much for doing it. And while you're down there, folks, hit that like button. It really does help that YouTube algorithm. It does help other people find this great cruise channel, and it will help us grow this community. Well, with that out of the way, let's get ready to talk about all the different itineraries you can do on a Caribbean cruise so you can make the right choice for your very first one. So the very first two itineraries we're going to talk about are the most popular ones. They are the Eastern and Western Caribbean itineraries. They last for anywhere between 5 to 7 to 8 days long. It all depends upon, what is going on with that cruise, with the stops that you're going to be going to do. So that's pretty much it. But the cool thing is you're going to see the Eastern Caribbean primarily leave out of Florida. You might see some ones here and there further north on repositioning cruises, etc. But in general, most of them come from Florida. Now, Western Caribbean, you're going to see the whole Gulf Coast kind of getting involved in the Western itinerary Caribbean cruises, such as Galveston, such as New Orleans, such as Tampa Bay. Those are going to be your main points of call for your Western Caribbean cruises, as well as those Southern Florida ports as well will also go to the Western Caribbean. Now, Western Caribbean cruises are known for those Mayan ruins, as well as the Mesoamerican reef, for doing some great snorkeling and scuba diving. The Eastern Caribbean are known for the pristine beaches, the wonderful, beautiful beaches of St. Thomas, St. Martin. Those are gorgeous places to be. You're also going to see a lot of private islands in the Eastern Caribbean. Over in the Bahamas, you'll also be stopping in Nassau. Sometimes you even stop in Key West, and you might even here and there stop in Puerto Rico or the Dominican Republic. Those are great locations that you will see in the Eastern Caribbean. A lot of people really like those Eastern Caribbean itineraries. They like to be on true islands versus Mexico. So that's basically why those Eastern Caribbeans are a little bit more popular than the Western Caribbeans. The Western Caribbeans have a little less popularity, and you'll get pretty good prices on Western Caribbean cruises versus Eastern Caribbean. Now, the next most popular Caribbean itinerary is that Southern Caribbean itinerary. A lot of people like to call it the ABC Island itinerary. That's Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. Those are going to give you some really interesting islands that you're not going to see anywhere else in the Caribbean. Different type of climate, very arid climate. You have the Dutch influence there. You have some amazing different places you can go, such as checking out the aloe farms or taking a look at where Curacao is being made. It is a great itinerary. It's also a little bit warmer. These islands are right off of Venezuela, so you get that Venezuelan influence as well in them. It's a beautiful location to go. Those itineraries tend to be a little bit longer, 8 to 9 days, because you're going further south, and it's usually always leaving out of a southern Florida type of port, usually every other week, because they would mix it with an 8-night and a 6-night and an 8-night and a 6-night, so that you can get the normal 2-week rotation on a cruise ship, which leads to really good opportunities for some back-to-back cruises. Now, some other very popular itineraries you will see in the Caribbean are your Bahamas cruises. Those Bahama cruises tend to be shorter cruises, 3, 4, 5-night cruises. You usually are only going to Nassau and maybe a private island. These are really your kind of initial cruises, people who are just trying to do something new for the very first time, trying cruising out, seeing if they like it, or if they just want to get away for a weekend. Downside is they tend to be a little bit more rowdy type of cruises. They tend to be more booze cruise type of feels to them. So if you do not like the party scene, those cruises might be difficult for you to take a look at. The other cruise option that you're going to see in the Caribbean is also the Bermuda cruises. These ones will only stop in Bermuda, so that if you like staying in port for a long period of time, 2, 3, 4 days, Bermuda cruises are great, and you'll see a lot of these Bermuda cruises leaving from the whole east coast of the United States, from Boston all the way down to Florida. Another interesting itinerary that you will find in the Caribbean is sometimes known as an ultimate Southern Caribbean cruise or the Eastern Antilles. These are those southern leeward island cruises that tend to be a little bit longer in length. If you're leaving from Florida for a round trip, they can be up to 9-10 nights long. Or if you leave from Puerto Rico or Barbados, these ones then become 7-night cruises that usually have an island stop each and every day because you're already in the Caribbean when you start either in Puerto Rico or Barbados. So these kind of go to Antigua, Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Nevis. They usually tend to be smaller islands, a little bit more secluded islands that tend to be more quiet. Again, you get that Eastern Caribbean beautiful island itinerary with, beautiful scenes. And also these tend to be very volcanic islands as well. So you get these very high peaks, majestic peaks over there. They are wonderful cruises, especially if you're looking for a longer one or you want to cruise out of the Caribbean to begin with, whether it be in Barbados or from Puerto Rico. Now, the last Caribbean itinerary that you will see often is called the partial transit of the Panama Canal. The partial transit of the Panama Canal gets you, the longest cruise that you're going to see in the Caribbean. Usually these tend to be 11 days in length because you got a long way to go to the Panama Canal, and you're also going to do some stops in the Southern Caribbean a lot of times. They pair these Panama Canals a lot with Southern Caribbean itineraries, such as stopping in Aruba and Bonaire or Curacao, as well as into Cartagena in Colombia and Panama City. You might also see Grand Cayman thrown in there for added benefit. So you get a lot of different island stops. You get a nice long vacation. You get to see a man-made wonder. If you're looking for a longer Caribbean cruise and you don't want to do a back-to-back, take a look at the Panama Canal cruises. They are wonderful itineraries, and a lot of times it's a bucket list cruise for everybody, and you can kind of then knock off, hey, I'm knocking off the Panama Canal and the Southern Caribbean at the same time, and you get kind of 2 cruises for the price of 1. So there you go, folks. That's my guide for the Caribbean itineraries that you can choose when you are booking your very first Caribbean cruise. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hey, give it a big thumbs up. It really does help the YouTube algorithm. It does help other people find this channel and does help this community grow. If you haven't done so yet already, please hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on. We would love to have you here as a member of the Cruise Seekers crew. And if you have any comments, what is your favorite cruise itinerary when you go to the Caribbean? Is it Eastern? Is it Southern? Do you like doing the partial transits of the Panama Canal? Let us know in the comments section down below. We love comments. We love hearing from you folks in the comment section. We try to engage with each and every one of you. So until we talk again next time, this is Rob from Cruise Seekers reminding each and every one of you to always seek the seas. Bye now.